Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Atari A to Z, a series of short playthroughs of Atari 8-bit games, some which I grew up with and some which are new to me. Today is sort of both really. We're going to be looking at Electrician today, which is a 1984 release from Synapse Software. And the reason I say it's a bit of both is that technically we had a copy of this, a pirate copy, as with most things back in the day, but I don't recall ever being able to get it running on any of our computers, so I don't think I ever actually played it. So this is going to be a bit of a learning experience for me today, I think. Electrician is a game that I find quite interesting because it's an example of an early game based around mundane activity, and there were a surprising amount of these back in the 8-bit era. So also from Synapse Software, there's a reasonably well-known game called NYC, New York City, The Big Apple, which is a game about tourism, for example. The reason I mention that one specifically is that was often bundled with Electrician in a double pack. Another interesting bit of trivia about this game is that the Japanese company Kemco actually licensed this game to release on the Famicom, or the Japanese version of the NES in Japan. They had to make a few tweaks to make it work on the console, but otherwise it was fundamentally the same game. But that version never came across to the NES, so over here it was strictly a home computer game. The most widely distributed version of this game has a pretty game-breaking bug that means you can't finish it. But back in 2008, a member of the Atari Age community named Fandal, he released a corrected version. And so if you look on Fandal's website now, if you're trying to download this game, that corrected version is there and you can actually beat that game all the way through to the end, if you're good enough, which I almost certainly am not. So it probably wouldn't have been an issue for me anyway. But anyway, let's go play Electrician.
Okay, here we are with Electrician by David Bunch from Synapse Software, 1984. This is not a game I've played before. As I said in the intro, this is one that we had a copy of, but it never ran on our computer for some reason. Not sure why. Not sure if it was an OS thing, as it often was with those games that didn't run, or if it was just a bad disc or whatever, or a bad copy of it or whatever. It was a pirate copy we had, so this is quite neat. This little intro sequence. Synapse Software were pretty good at these little intros. Reminds me slightly of the one from Quasimodo. Bit more animated than that. I think the Quasimodo one was pretty static, but it had a bit of music and some flashing colours and that sort of thing. But anyway, we're not here to watch an attract mode. We are here to play the game. Now entering building. Alright, so we are Chappie here. You can move around with your joystick, and you can lay wires by holding down the fire button. And your aim is to wire up the whole house. And you do that by connecting the wires from one side to the other, and also connecting to the sockets as well, which are the ones that are poking out of the, I guess they're the floors and ceiling. And you must avoid all these nasties in the process as well. Oops. Oh, I'm alright. And as you're doing that, you can get bonus, I think it's lives, isn't it? If you connect the televisions. Because the television then inexplicably runs away. And you can collect it. You don't appear to get points in this. Although that said, if you look up at the top of the screen, the battery level that is constantly going down, I think that's basically your time limit. But if you look at the kilowatt hours gauge, that only updates when you are laying cables. So I think that's basically your score, which is kind of neat. It's an analog score. I like that a lot. Especially because those gauges look very much like the sort of gauges you'd have on an electricity meter in the 80s. And indeed still today in some cases. Depending on how old your house is and how old the wiring is and whether you've had a smart meter fitted. I think our electric meter looks like that. Oh, those snakes are eating through the wires, you can see. which is troublesome. Whoops! You can fall a certain distance without dying, but if you fall too far, then you'll lose a life. Which is obviously undesirable, so... It also looks as if the wires might be safe once they turn pink. Oh, you can jump on the snakes as well from the look of things. Does that kill them? Oh no, they just get zapped by the sockets. Okay, that just happened to occur at the same time as I landed on one. Alright, so once you wind up a whole house, a key will appear. And you need to go and grab that, and then you will enter the basement. At which point you have to negotiate your way past alligators to the next house. And if you look at the status bar up at the top, you'll see that the key says 3, and then there's a house symbol and it says 1. So that means that the key you found is the key for house number 3. So you have to make your way to house number 3 for the next wiring stage. And as you're proceeding through this basement level, which is randomly generated, by the way, which is pretty neat, you'll notice that your torch occasionally highlights walls and things, so you often have to find your way around those to get to your next destination. Oh no! I don't believe there's a way you can kill the alligator, so you just gotta find a way round them in most cases, I think. Don't know what those sparkly things do. They probably kill you, because this is an 80s game and everything kills you in 80s games. Right, so we've got a wall there so we can't get through. But if we climb down, the alligator will get us, so we have to wait for him to pass by first of all. And then proceed. As alligators, you'll see, are not affected by walls for some reason. Here we are, here's house number 3. So we then repeat the process. Until death, basically. And with each house you work on, it gets a little bit more difficult. So if you look at this one, we've got a few additional features. We've got this bat going around. He doesn't actually hurt you, but he just carry you and drop you off in different places. So you want to try and avoid him as best you can. Alright, so that floor's done. We got rats in this one who are crawling around, and presumably they will chew through cables as well. I think the sound effects are cool in this because they have a kind of a sense of distance to them. So like you hear as that bat gets further away, its sound gets quieter. Which is a level of detail you didn't normally get in games from the period. So that's very neat to see. He's going to chew through that, isn't he? Yeah. Okay, so that's how that works. So the enemies will chew through wires that they pass through while they're green. But once they turn pink, that presumably means that they're live and they have electricity flowing through them, which means that they will zap the enemies. Those rats seem to follow you as well. Are they following, or I think they're just reversing course. It just happens to be when I'm going that way, isn't it? Well, we might have to... come back to this floor. When the rats are elsewhere, let's go up here to the top, because this floor is nice and clear at the minute. There we go. Oh no, gonna die. There we go. That's what happens when you fall too far. We got the TV though, so we got an extra life. So that didn't really cost us anything. So that's fine. Alright, so those rats are now buggering off, so we can sneak in there and finish off this floor. Quickly before he gets to the other ones. Oh, you shit. Leave my bloody wires alone. There we go. Right. As tempting as it is to fling yourself at those TVs to get the extra lives, it kind of pays to take a bit of care, I guess. So we can already see that room's already lit up because we've connected the lights to it. So we can see that there's a television in there, which we can connect up our wires to. And there we go. I think that's that house done, isn't it? So we should have another key down here waiting for us. All being well. There it is. And we proceed on our way to house number 4 this time. I like this game. It's got a nice amount of personality to it, and it's also something a bit different. Can we jump over them? Oh, you can stand on their backs. That's useful to know. So it's like Frogger. You just mustn't stand on their mouths, I guess. Right, this changes everything. Can you climb through them? Yes, you can. Nope, can't go that way. Yep. Electrician dude seems remarkably unconcerned by all this peril he's placing himself in. Okay, a lot more gaps in this house. Bat doesn't break the wires, that's useful to know. Oh, we got a spider in this one as well. Oh, when a spark. Duck. That's unpleasant. Okay, so yeah, definitely getting a lot more perilous as we go through. I kind of hate that spiders are such a widespread enemy in 80s games. Because I fucking hate spiders. Oh no! And there's a lot of 80s games out there that have really sort of terrifying depictions of spiders. I think my least favourites of all time are Mountain King, which has this horrendous giant green spider that comes rattling across the bottom of the screen and makes this horrific noise as it comes and devours you. And what's worse about the one in Mountain King is that it doesn't kill you straight away. So, oh no! No, 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 no! Yeah, what it does in Mountain King is it comes and it wraps you up in web for a little while, and you're just stuck there, waiting for death. Ow, pain. Yeah, it's got a lot harder now. Yeah, you're just stuck there waiting to die for a really unpleasant few seconds before it comes and devours you. I think you might actually be able to escape it if you waggle the joystick enough or something like that, but by the time that happens to me in Mountain King, I was normally too too terrified to continue, so yeah, I did not like going down to the bottom level in Mountain King, because that is where the spider lived. These ones aren't horrendously threatening, at least. Uh-oh. Ooh. Saved that one. Oh, you can't jump on them to kill them either. Whew. Right, how are we going to deal with this then? Yeah, simple enough. Just wait for him to bugger off and go somewhere else. Come on. There we go. Is that all of it? No, not another floor yet. And again, because of the jumping and falling physics, you probably don't want to just leap down to the next one, especially if you can't see where you... Ooh. Don't do that. Right, let's try that again. So, over here. Excuse my phone. Bloody spiders, I'm trying to do a job here. Oh, fine. Screw you then. I'll go wire this floor while you're busy chomping through all my hard work. Ow! Oh dear, down to our last life. And there I was worrying that this game was a bit easy. But no. By the time you get to your third house, evidently it's... the challenge factor ramps right up. That's it, you bugger off that way. Lovely stuff. That TV's too far away for me to catch, unfortunately. Need to watch out for the spark. And we could really do with these spiders going away. Can you not? Can you just go somewhere else? Anywhere else, I don't care where, just go somewhere else. No, you're just going to hang out there. That's good too. Oh, we haven't done this floor either. Okay. Still got a lot of work to do. I thought we were nearly done. But no. And you're coming down here to mess up my work now, aren't you? No! Well, there we go. Okay. Hopefully you get the idea of that by now. That is Electrician by David Bunch. Published by Synapse Software. I enjoyed that. I'm going to come back to that a bit, I think. It's good fun. And sort of a good example of the sort of stuff that Synapse Software put out. It's sort of good quality, honest stuff that kind of distinguished itself a bit from arcade games. So there was a little bit more depth and complexity there than your average sort of arcade conversion. So yeah. Yeah, well worth a try. Good stuff. As always, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you again next time.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please help out the channel by leaving a like or a comment and subscribing. New episodes of Atari A to Z are on Tuesdays and Atari ST A to Z on Thursdays. Check out atariatoz.wordpress.com for a full archive. Do please also check out my other projects moegamer.net, where I explore Japanese and Japanese-inspired games from yesterday and today, and videopackgames.wordpress.com, which aims to catalogue the small but well-formed library of the Philips G7000 Videopack computer, also known as the Magnavox Odyssey 2. You can also support my work on Patreon or buy me a coffee. You can find links to do both down in the video description. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.